Watching the Reds and the Cubs? Reply using hashtag #RepMyTeam with a picture of how you're supporting your team, and your tweet could appear later on tonight here on the telecast. Top of the order for the Cubs as we go to the bottom of the third in a scoreless game. Dexter Fowler, Anthony Rizzo, and Chris Bryant against Anthony DeSclafani. Fowler with a fly ball to right field his first time up. Nice running catch by Jay Bruce. Foul back our way, just to our left, couple of boots over.
I think if they contend this year as the year goes on, or become a favorite next year, this is going to be one of the guys people are going to kind of look past as being crucial on both sides of the ball.
What do you like about him?
Everything. I feel like he's a smart ball player. I can't tell offensively, how much more ceiling there is as a hitter. Big, fast, covers a lot of ground in the outfield. Gets the whole on-base percentage thing.
As he fouls it back, Buster, the Cubs talk about maybe having a spot for all of their young prospects on the field at one time. Is there an heir apparent in center field in their system?
Well, no, they've got a lot of outfielders, but there's not anyone right on the cusp, which is why they went and got Fowler. They wanted his experience as a leadoff hitter.
There's another fly ball to right field, and Bruce makes the play for the first out. Soler was in right field. When he gets healthy, he's probably in right field again. Actually, Chris Bryant's played some center field.
Don't put it past him.
Yeah, and he's played some left, but right now he's mostly a third baseman. They've got Kyle Schwarber, a young catcher, but he could wind up in the outfield as well. They know who's anchoring things at first base, though. There's no gray area here.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy you can build a team around. And, for a kid that's 25 years old, that's saying something.
Hey, Schill, I talked to a couple of advanced scouts today. You said that the clear spot to pitch Rizzo is up in the zone, but in 2015, there are not a lot of starting pitchers who pitch up in the zone like you did.
Well, you can't. It's a mistake pitch. To throw a ball up in the strike zone, you have to make a mechanical mistake. It's almost like chasing a bad pitch. You have to do something wrong mechanically. So it's hard. No one can consistently pitch up there unless you're kind of a Sid Fernandez is a guy that I remember doing that. But this is a guy, I think you have to throw the fastball from the belt to mid-thigh on the inside corner, and you have to continue to throw that pitch to open up something on the outer half for the backdoor slider or the split below. But I think you got to get in there at his belt.
One thing that's really helped him, he's really cut down his swing with 2 strikes on him. As he drives the ball to left field, well hit, but it'll stay in the yard for Negron, 2 down. Rizzo's got some good 2-strike numbers this year. 2 outs, and here's Bryant.
Well, we talk about Chris Bryant, what he offers, brings to the table. The great base running right there, taking advantage of the blooper, and the great slide into second base to get into second with 2 outs, and the great defense that he plays, charging the ball, making a strong throw to first base. And when you talk to Joe Maddon about it, he said the thing he loves more about him than that is how versatile he is. Double switch, he can play anywhere in the outfield, third base, wherever you need him.
3 up, 3 down go the Cubs. We're at the end of 3, still no score. Joey Votto will lead it off for the Reds when we come back.
This is a whole new level of survival, and we're trying to film it.
I commend anyone who can survive in this area. There's a bear right across.
I feel like I'm starving.
I didn't come here to get killed.
It's gonna be hell.
It's so loud up there.
Hey, bear.
What was that?
Out of 42 vehicles, based on 6 different criteria, why did a panel of 11 automotive experts name the Volkswagen Golf Motor Trend's 2015 Car of the Year? We'll give you 4 good reasons. The Volkswagen Golf, starting at $19,295. There's an award-winning Golf for everyone.
Of a win-win, right? What about a win-win-win? Pick up the limited edition Metallic Droid Turbo by Motorola. Water repellent, up to 48-hour battery life, and ballistic nylon back. That's your first win. Plus, it's only on Verizon, the #1 network. There's your next win. Now for the final win. Get $250 when you trade in any smartphone. And get 10 gigs of data for $80 a month and $15 per line. The win-win-win. A new way to save without settling. Only on Verizon.
Put your hand over your heart. Is it beating? Good. Then my Nutrition Heart Health Mix is for you. It's a wholesome blend of peanuts, pecans, and other delicious nuts, specially mixed for people with hearts. Planters. Nutrition starts with nut.
The new Nissan Maxima, the four-door sports car that's raw, refined, and all you. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Actually turning into a beautiful evening here in Chicago. No scores. We go to the top of the 4th inning between the Reds and the Cubs. Joey Votto leads it off for Cincinnati. Lester's first pitch. He gets the call over the outside corner. It's 0-1. Time now to take a look at our value player, brought to you by True Value. A 3-home run game earlier this week for Votto, the 3rd such game of his career. The only other Red who's ever done that. Hall of Famer Johnny Bench. And again, maybe the most amazing thing about what Votto did earlier this week, Kruk, is he swung at the first pitch in all 3 at-bats, something he thinks he may have done at some point before in his career.
High school?
Nah, Billy Hatcher, first base coach, said probably Little League. He couldn't remember if he's ever done it. There's my buddy Hatcher. I love that guy.
Choking up, a ball and 2 strikes.
Guys, I asked Votto about that, swinging at the first pitch and hitting those home runs, and he said it was just one thing, one night, and then after the night was over, I scrapped that plan. I checked with the Cubs, and they think there's more to it than that. They say this year he's attacking left-handers on the first pitch a lot more.
I can tell you as a pitcher, it changes everything for him for the rest of the year in a good way.
To center field. Fowler back. Fowler makes the catch. Now let's go back to Tuesday. These are the 3 home runs that came in a game against the Phillies. First pitch from Aaron Harang in the 3rd.
Yeah, that's the thing. Aaron Harang's not going to walk guys, so you got to be aggressive with him early. And you know, you see the pitches. Where's the location? One was away, one was middle, one was in, but they were all down. And that's the power stroke for Joey Votto. You know, don't let that fool you. I'm going to scrap that plan. 3 pitches, 3 swings, 3 home runs. That plan's going to be back in the playbook as soon as possible.
Here's Todd Frazier.
Well, if you're everything's analytics nowadays, and if you're facing a guy, for me, whose swing percentage is under 15% on the first pitch, then I'm throwing him a fastball down and away to get ahead. That approach he took the other day changes everything. Now you have to go out and you have to make a better pitch or the different pitch. Now he's in the 1-0 count a lot more than he usually would be, which is just going to help him.
Way down and in, a ball and a strike on Frazier.
But you know, we always talk about, and when the infield shifts going the other way or bunting against the defense, it doesn't work if you do it once.
No.
When you do it 3 or 4 times in a game, everybody has to change and adjust.
Saw the Phillies still didn't adjust to it.
Chill, you mentioned analytics.
Nice play by Ross.
Chill, you mentioned analytics. I don't think any player, any hitter I've ever spoken with has a better feel for analytics, so maybe there was something in those numbers that Joey Votto found.
Well, Crucky, it's easier to hit 1-0 than 0-1. Now, he's a guy clearly not afraid to hit with 2 strikes like Tony Gwynn never was, but I would imagine if you can go 0-1 or 1-0 instead of 0-1, they take that advantage.
Yeah, and you know, you look at the numbers. I'm not big on the analytics and all that stuff like Joey Votto is, but you know, the numbers prove out over the course of a long season. You know, guys who swing at the first pitch that's a strike, you know, you have a great batting average and a great chance to get on base.
Jay Bruce grounded out his first time up. No scores. The Reds bat here in the top of the fourth. Lester has allowed, yes he did, says Toby Basner. Lester's allowed just one hit. That was to Billy Hamilton with 2 outs in the third inning. Hamilton promptly stole second and third, but was stranded there. Otherwise, Lester has set down everybody.
This is a better John Lester than he has been his previous starts, just because his misses are the side he's throwing to. And, you know, Curt will tell you, the hitter, as a hitter, you know, when the guy's coming in off the plate, you know he wants to come in, but he's missing in off the plate. Got some good stuff going.
And he strikes out Bruce. No score going to the bottom of the fourth. Cubs manager Joe Maddon will join us live from the dugout when we come back.
Where is Hunt? He's deep cover.
The syndicate is real. A rogue nation trained to do what we do. They're coming after us.
You ready?
You want to bring down the syndicate? It's impossible.
Oh my God!
What if you could find that sweet spot where everything is just the way you want it? Introducing the all-new HR-V crossover from Honda.
Football makes you feel invincible. I'm concentrating on the other side of the ball these days. We have the best sports management division in the business. We want to create a legacy and build you a dynasty.
What can I do?
You see that beautiful girl right there? You get her number for me. It's all yours if you want it.
This is the College World Series.
Cinderella wins a national championship. They win the 2014 College World Series.
Who will bring the title home? The College World Series continues tomorrow at 3 on ESPN2.
Welcome back to Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented by Taco Bell. Well, so far we have dodged any bad weather, and a guy who's awfully excited about that is Cubs manager Joe Maddon. Endured a 2-hour and 48-minute rain delay last night, although the Cubs came back to win the game. Joe, you needed some distance from John Lester tonight. 4 very good innings, 51 pitches. What do you like?
Yeah, I like the velocity. I think he talked about being more assertive or aggressive in his zone with his fastball. I think we've seen that. And the cutter's playing better off of that pitch. How about the changeup to Votto, left on left? That was outstanding also. I think he's pitching really well, and him and Rossi always do a nice job together. We
talk as just fans of the sport about, you know, the bleachers have been rebuilt, what the ballpark looks like now. How do the players feel about having the ballpark whole again?
I love it. I mean, absolutely love it. I mean, you talk, the outfielders really dig it because they get out there. They have to exchange with the fans during the course of the game. From standing here looking out, it really has this enveloping feel. You talk about the friendly confines. It gets friendlier when the fans are out there. I think our folks have done a wonderful job of putting it back together. The scoreboards, everything adds to the experience here at Wrigley.
Yeah, Kruk was talking about the friendly confines when he came in here as a Philly or a Padre, how nice it was to interact with fans out there.
The fans are great, man. I mean, yeah, I know that I'm sure they're a little bit more difficult for him, but no, the fans have been outstanding. I talk a lot to the folks around the dugout. It's really a different kind of an experience. That ball was down, wasn't it? What do you got on that box?
Now, K-Zone says strike.
Okay,
low
I'll shut
strike.
up. I'll shut up.
Joe, Chris Bryant, you mentioned in our meeting with you today that he basically won that game for you last night with his base run. Another great base running play in the first inning today.
Well, it starts out of the batter's box. You saw him. I saw the replays running out of the batter's box. He's thinking 2 and not 1 all the time. I know that's obviously he should be thinking 2, but he plays that extra base game all the time. Anticipates well. Doesn't assume that he can't go. A lot of the guys that don't run the bases are assumptionists, where they feel like they can't do something, so they cannot. He feels like he can, and he's all like last night, the play at the plate where he beat the plate. Not many guys do that, and even eventually to score the other run. I mean, he's just always getting good jumps, always heads up on the bases, and I think it's probably innate more than it was taught.
Hey, Joe, we appreciate the time. Good luck.
My pleasure, guys. Have a good one. See
Thanks
you.
for joining us. Joe Maddon, the manager of the Cubs.
Very smart man. They didn't say the same things to him that they did to me. I can guarantee you that.
Starlin Castro, the batter, after the ground out by Chris Coughlin.
Do I look like someone that I would enjoy the banter with the fans?
No.
Oh yeah.
But that's why they bantered with you as much as they did,
maybe
right?
That's one of the reasons.
And a soft liner into right field, a base hit for Castro. But you hit well here, right? You enjoyed hitting here.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Why?
Well,
wind blowing out.
Part the wind was blowing out.
Yeah.
You can hit a pop up, and they had a good chance of it going somewhere that they weren't going to catch it. But the only thing I didn't like about hitting here was they kept the infield grass so high.
In the day games.
Well, yeah, that was a little rough too. But I think Chicago had something to do with that. It had nothing to do with the Cubs.
Quite a bit. Good hitting background.
Very good. Yes, it's even when the Ivy early in the season, because back then the Cubs were in the National League East. They were in the same division as us, and before the Ivy turned green, it was still a great hitter's backdrop. And
did you ever have any collision? I don't know if people, I'm sure a lot of people know this. Behind that Ivy is a brick wall. That's it.
Yeah,
Did you ever have any collisions out there?
Yeah. You can see when they're in left field where the fence goes around. That from the foul line, it's straight, and then there's like a little
turn.
Yeah. Well, I got caught in there one day with a.
Got caught.
Well, it was windy, and the ball went up, and I ran back to the fence, to basically dead left field, and then the ball started drifting towards center, and I couldn't take my eye off it because I was stunk as an outfielder. And I ran right into that thing.
Big bear trap in the corner.
You can see that thing. She'll draw
yeah, where it curves
right there.
Yeah.
There's
still
like a Crucky indentation in the brick wall.
Some bricks that aren't there anymore.
Yeah, they had to replace the Ivy too.
Gee, I can't imagine why they like bantering with you when you run outfielder here.
I ran right into that thing. I'm like, wow, that came up on me quick.
And that was just during batting practice.
I wouldn't even go out there and shag in batting practice.
I love shagging here.
Guys.
I love shagging here when I wasn't pitching, because they could cause emotional duress when you were playing.
From the mound, can you hear them? Can you hear specific things people are saying?
That's what makes it fun. Those are fun because they say things about your family that you won't hear anywhere else. And it's funny most times.
Swing and a miss, and Baxter is gone, 2 down.
Hey guys, I was going to put some numbers this. Kruk, during the course of his career, hit more homers in Wrigley Field than any other park except for his 2 home ballparks when he was with the Padres and when he was with the Phillies. A 907 OPS in Wrigley.
Kruk.
I did what?
There you go. You hit well here.
Yeah. I enjoyed hitting here.
Live K-Zone is brought to you all game long by AutoZone.
I think because it seemed like they had a lot of right-handed pitchers, which I enjoyed far more than lefties.
David Ross popped up his first time up. Out of play, and it's 0-2.
I got beat up pretty good here one day. Whoa, that was ugly.
Literally?
Yeah. We got into a fight, and I had to run across from first base to the third base line to try to get Rick Sutcliffe, who was charging out at our pitcher for hitting Andre Dawson. And then next thing I know, Jody Davis and Keith Moreland.
Oh, not small guys.
No.
Ooh, there was some impact there.
You got tag team?
I got whipped.
Ross strikes out. Inning over, no score, end of 4 here at Wrigley.
See me on your screen, sit back and watch, show you what I mean. Can't stop it. Doody-doody-do, la-la-dee-da.
Brighten up the afternoon with Happier Hour at Taco Bell. $1 drinks and freezes every day from 2 to 5 p.m. Only at Taco Bell.
Our new app will revolutionize car service and repair.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Is that anything like Cars.com's new feature called Service and Repair?
No, because with ours, you'll know the cost of labor and parts in your area. Anyone else?
Like Cars.com?
So you'll never pay more than you should.
Like Cars.com.
Excuse me 1 second.
She's totally right. I messed up. I'm sorry.
Cancel the IPO?
Research, price, find. Now get the right service without all the drama. Cars.com. All drive, no drama.
One on the left and the one on the right. Can't tell them apart, try as you might. But a wise man once said that the secret to life is to find one that don't look the same. Find one that don't look the same.
Experience the distinct Audi Q5 at your local dealer today.
There are games, and then there's the All-Star Game. Champs, MVPs, and the hungry ones. It's the All-Star Game of All-Star Games, the All-Star Game that decides who's playing Game 7 of the World Series at home. Look at the guys on this diamond, in the box, on the mound. Simple game, bat meets ball. The guys heading here are just the ones that do it best. Queen City, Cincinnati, July 14th, the All-Star Game.
Every Sunday on Baseball Tonight, ESPN and Major League Baseball feature a local Little League program as part of our Sunday coverage. Tonight, we welcome Kilbourne Park Dynamite Little League, located in Northwest Chicago, a softball team chartered in 2014. Their enrollment has doubled in the last year. They got a visit from Todd Frazier before the game. Chris Bryant came over to say hello, and if you watched Baseball Tonight, a terrific segment with Nicole Briscoe when Jason Mott came over and surprised them and spent some time with them. So fun for them and fun for us to have them here tonight at Wrigley.
Jason Mott's a great human being. Yeah. He's fun to get to visit with for just a little while we get to before games, but he is a pretty good man.
Yeah, he is.
There's Brian Pena leading off the fifth for the Reds. Pena, Suarez, Negron. 5, 6, and 7 in the injury depleted Reds lineup. Pena is 8 for his last 18, though, hitting an even 300 on the season. Pops it up for Rizzo. One down. Well, maybe the biggest story in baseball over the last week and a half has been the unbelievable role that the Toronto Blue Jays have been on. They have tied a franchise record with 11 wins in a row. They've scored 88 runs in those 11 games. They just completed a sweep of the Boston Red Sox. Their starting pitching has gone from the worst in baseball to pretty good during the streak, but that lineup of Reyes, Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion, Russell Martin, I mean, they are just pounding people these days.
Yeah, it's there's no rest in that lineup, and you kind of figured when they got Donaldson, okay, if they stay healthy, the lineup is 9 deep, and you know, when you're giving 8 runs a game, you should win most of them, I'm thinking.
Eugenio Suarez pops one in the air to right field for Baxter. Even guys, Devin Travis, who's been out for about a month, but he had a great April. Chris Colabello's hitting about 340, a guy who was with the Twins last year.
The two things that jump out at me is the Marcus Stroman injury in spring training. Clearly a much bigger thing now than it was. Number 2, Josh Donaldson. I mean, what was Billy Beane thinking? Because to me, that you traded a perennial top 10 player in the game. And, I mean,
he's an MVP candidate.
Yeah,
right
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I looked at the deal, and it's like, what the heck was he thinking?
He's hitting second in that lineup. When Reyes was out, he led off for a couple of weeks. Imagine starting the game, Shell, as a pitcher, and your first 3 are Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion. That's the way they work. They've got a series, well, actually 2 series, 2 games. It's kind of home and home week in baseball. This for some teams, interleague play. They've got 4 games coming up this week with the Mets. So a terrific pitching staff of the Mets and the great hitting of the Blue Jays.
Yep. And a hot hitting Blue Jays team, and that's, I mean, you're 8 runs a game.
If you think back over the last 15 years to World Series champions, the only team, and maybe I'm wrong, but 2002, the Angels, to me, were the only team that really slugged their way to 11 wins first. This team has got out, hit their pitching mistakes. Yeah. Now, the question for me, what happens at the deadline if they're legitimately in it?
Well, they're starting pitching. It's Mark Burley, R.A. Dickey, Drew Hutchison, Marco Estrada, who's actually pitching well, and Aaron Sanchez, a young fireballer who just went on the DL with a lat strain. But them getting 6 or 7 innings has kind of made the bullpen better, because now the bullpen's not pitching 4 or 5 innings a game, and the offense is just doing its thing.
And the question I would ask you, if to any Toronto fan, you win the wild card, you got to play that one game Monday. Who are you giving the ball to?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, and
that's a tough one.
That might not be the rotation we're talking about in September as well, because there's a lot of arms out there on the market, and that's a team that usually would sneak in and do something.
Negron takes just low, and the count is full, and Lester did not like the call. I don't think he's upset with himself. He's probably, Shilling, you think he's upset with the call?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He has a tough time hiding it. And I mean, we talked about it, and he tries. The challenge is that for young pitchers, that's a game into itself. The whole umpire, catcher-pitcher dynamic, it's such a crucial piece for the pitcher. I don't want to have to get 9 hitters and an umpire out.
Lined into left center field, and instead of the strikeout he wanted, it's going to be a double for Negron as the ball disappears into the ivy. And Negron's at third base right now, but they're going to send him back to second.
Now there's a he kind of looked at the umpire with okay, you know, that's on you. And it's not, but as a pitcher, and that's, but again, I go back to this point, there's 2 outs. So as much as that stinks, keeps your head down, keeps your pitch count down, he made a mistake. He left the ball. That's where he's been getting beat his last 2 starts. Kruk trying to go in and leaving that ball middle.
Yeah, that was a mistake. You know, but he keeps it in the ballpark, and now you have, this is the dilemma of hitting the pitcher 8th. 7th hitter hits a 2-out double. You have the 8th hitter coming up now, and that's what Joe Maddon said. He said that's the thing you have to live with if you're going to do this. And Brian Price is going to have to live with this one with 2 outs.
DeSclafani struck out his first time up. And Ross heading out to the mound with a purpose.
Curt, what do you think he's saying to John Lester right
Well,
now?
I mean, Dan, we were talking about this quote from David Ross the other day about trying to keep John positive and confident. I think this is one of those things. When you look at that quote, you know, that was kind of startling for me to read, in the sense that you know, you're talking about the number 1, and you know, to have, that's what you say about your 5. That's what you say about a rookie. This is one of the premier pitchers in the game, and David Ross clearly feels like he's got a role in all this, and it's significant. Got away with one there.
To the pitcher.
Yep.
But even if, you know, the pitcher was hitting 9th, this is a pitch around, walk a guy, 2 outs, so it really doesn't matter.
It's the same thing when the 8th hitter doubles with 2 outs.
Yes. Oh, David, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I understand you want to keep guys close, but that you're looking at.
There's 2 outs. That I always, you know, I have no problem with pickoffs and all the other things that you do. When you have 2 outs and you have a guy like this on the mound, don't make the game more complicated. Don't be tricky. Let him make his pitch. I think that's what David said to him. I think he said to him, hey, listen, focus, make some pitches.
Yeah. That's what I mean. You go out and tell the pitcher, hey, let's go. We got the pitcher up here. Let's make some pitches. And then
throw one into center field.
You're trying to pick someone off at second. Like, you know, can he get the pitcher out?
Well, now these pitches become high leverage pitches because it's a nothing game. And these are different. These are different pitches physically.
Gets him to end the inning. 4th strikeout of the night for Lester. Still scoreless. Lester will lead it off when we come back for the bottom of the 5th after this.
Out of 42 vehicles, based on 6 different criteria, why did a panel of 11 automotive experts name the Volkswagen Golf Motor Trend's 2015 Car of the Year? We'll give you 4 good reasons. The Volkswagen Golf. Starting at $19,295, there's an award-winning Golf for everyone.
I like my seafood like I like my vacations. Tropical. And during Red Lobster's Island Escape, 3 new tropical dishes take me straight to the islands. So I'm diving fork first into the lobster and shrimp in paradise with panko-crusted lobster tail and jumbo shrimp in Captain Morgan barbecue glaze. Or the ultimate island seafood feast with tender crab, wood-grilled lobster, and 2 island-inspired flavors of jumbo shrimp. Because a summer without tropical flavors might as well be winter. This escape is too good to miss, so don't.
Nissan Rogue with Safety Shield technologies. The only thing left to fear is your imagination. Nissan, innovation that excites.
When broker Chris Hill stays at La Quinta and fires up free Wi-Fi with a network that's now up to 5 times faster than before, you know what he can do?
Let's see if he's ready.
He can swim with the sharks. Book your next stay at LQ.com.
Dick's Sporting Goods and Golf Galaxy have amazing gift deals for Dad. Buy one, get one half off select Nike and Adidas golf apparel. Buy one, get one free Top Flight Bomb. Instant savings on Callaway XR metal woods. Give a gift he'll really love from Golf Galaxy and America's #1 golf retailer, Dick's Sporting Goods.
Here's what's coming up this week. Tomorrow night, Monday Night Baseball presented by USAA, the Global Game Series highlighting the Kingdom of the Netherlands, specifically Andrelton Simmons, Xander Bogaerts, Braves and Red Sox tomorrow night, the Rays and the Nationals Wednesday night on ESPN2, and then we've got the Giants and the Dodgers 1 week from tonight on Sunday Night Baseball. Bottom 5, no score. John Lester leads it off, grounded out his first time up.
He's going to break the schneid with a homer.
Not with that swing.
Nah, not that one.
Not unless he.
And probably not with 2 strikes, but.
Yeah, they better move to Williamsport.
Yeah.
Show how many at-bats in your big league career till you got your first hit, you know?
My first. I got a single off Rob Dibble. And then
in your first at-bat?
First at-bat.
And it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, there was nowhere to go but downhill from there. Because the next pitch he threw at a hitter and we were brawling.
Who'd you wind up dancing with in the brawl?
Well, I ran to second base when he threw the pitch, and the fans were going nuts, and I thought, wow, that's kind of cool. They're cheering for me this, in Cincinnati. And then I saw Eric Davis run in front of me.
Well, through the miracle of television, we have some video of that moment.
Oh,
April 11th, 1991, a young Astro by the name of Curt Schilling at Riverfront Stadium. Look at the crouch, and takes a Dibble fastball right back up the middle. An RBI single, it says here. You drove in a run?
Yep. Yep.
You needed a jacket show?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I thought it looked cool.
It was a thing to do.
Certainly wasn't going to slow me down.
No.
But then the next pitch, Eric Yelding, he threw a ball behind Eric Yelding, and we were fighting, and I'm sliding into second base, and Eric Davis runs by me. I'm like, what just happened? And I look over, and Craig Biggio's jumping on the pile like a guy jumping on a trampoline. And it was all downhill after that. It's actually a kind of a story grows after that because we took Rob Dibble's glove.
Like it was just lying there on the field during the brawl, and you took
his glove
just because you could?
We took his glove, and we had fun with it, and we kind of played a home and home, and we took his glove, and we made it a mess.
Frazier, can he get it there in time? Safe. Frazier, a nice backhanded stop, just a little bit of trouble getting a grip on it, though.
He's had 2 tough plays. One with Starlin Castro in the first inning, and then this one. You see he's trying to round it. He gets everything perfect. He gets on the short hop and gets off the correct foot. Just couldn't get the transfer from glove to hand in time to make a strong enough throw to get Addison Russell. See Joey Votto trying to stay on the base with no chance.
That has been scored, an infield hit for Russell. So a runner at first with 1 out. Back to the top of the order for Dexter Fowler.
So, real quick, we took the glove, went back to Houston, we had a home and home. They came to our place. He found out. We put it in his locker, and it was not usable anymore. He came into the game that night in the old Astrodome, yelling at our bench from the bullpen to the mound. Didn't throw a pitch under 99, struck out the side on like 5 pitches, and we were like, okay, that won't happen again.
You see all the trouble you caused?
Yeah, Al Osuna did it. Al, if you're out there, it was your fault, and you know it. But we're trying to get the game going again, and Dibble's standing on the mound with no glove, looking around. And the umpire's like, come on, guys, really? That was the highlight of that season for the 91 Astros.
Fowler, a couple of fly balls to right field tonight.
I didn't understand why pitchers, when you're out on the field, you're involved in every single pitch, of course.
Right.
You're hot, you're sweaty. Then you get to hit, you get a base hit. Why do you need that big parka?
Well, a couple things. I was the closer at the time, and I just come in the game. It was Cincinnati. It was April. It was cold. It was real cold. But usually, generally, pitchers are the warmest guys on the field.
That's what I would think.
Well,
Why do you need a parka?
Well, it looked cool. I thought. And again, it wasn't going to slow me down.
No.
It was going to make me go from dreadfully slow
if it
to.
was windy and blowing toward first base, it probably would stop you from getting to second. Put the shootout.
Nothing was going to stop me from getting to second, Kruk.
Well, if Eric Davis passed you from center field.
Yeah, he beat me actually to second.
1-2. In the air, shallow left. Negron makes the catch, 2 down.
Look at this. Let's put a clock on this.
Okay.
5, 6. See, here's the thing too with the zipper and the batting gloves. Look. I don't use my left hand, so what do I do with it? I can't get it in the jacket.
Look, somebody's helping you.
Al Morris is trying to help. No,
it's your coach.
Ed Ott. Yeah, Otter will help you out.
I'll add to the fact Ed Ott was on the bottom of that pile with Rob Dibble in a chokehold.
Let me tell you something. Ed Ott was a
mean bear
and powerful.
Yes.
I mean, like.
I just remember seeing Dibble's gum on the end of his tongue, and he couldn't do anything about it.
Here's Rizzo. No score, bottom of the 5th. 4 hits for the Cubs, 2 hits for the Reds. Third time through the order now for DeSclafani. Shift on for Rizzo. He will push one the other way every now and again.
It's the pitch. You got to stay right there. Yeah, really good hitters with the one hole they may have. You make them prove that they can get to the pitch before you just. But you think you have to be tricky when you're a young pitcher and you're facing a good hitter.
Hit hard to right field. Bruce with a diving catch. What a play by Jay Bruce in deep right field, taking an extra base hit and probably an RBI away from Anthony Rizzo. Another look going to break. Full extension by Bruce. And DeSclafani and the Reds get out of it after that sensational catch.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast, a Taco Bell original, is back in bottles and cans.
What?
Get some while you still can. Now with new Sangrita Blast.
Share your nachos? Sharing. Since you were a kid, it's been share this, share that, share your toys, share the bathroom, share the road, share your feelings, share selfies, share baby pictures, so many baby pictures. Share, overshare. When does the sharing stop?
How about with the grilled stuffed nacho from Taco Bell? The first nachos designed not to be shared. It's everything you love about nachos wrapped up and ready to go for $1.49.
Oh, and don't share this ad.
Leave early. Go roam. Sleep in. Sleep out. Stargaze. Dream big. Wander more. Care less. Beat sunrise. Chase sunset. Do it all on us. Get your first month's payment plus 5 years wear and tear coverage. Make the most of summer with Volvo.
Johnny, the government said I'm property.
Ted, we need a lawyer.
Well, we don't know any lawyers. All our friends make sandwiches.
You two got to get educated. Can you tell me who wrote The Great Gatsby?
Judy Blume? Hitler?
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
What did Scott Fitzgerald do to you?
Yeah.
What?
You just said F. Scott Fitzgerald.
You guys are idiots.
Do you believe you have a soul?
What did you think I would do at this moment?
Objection.
Overruled.
Rated R.
Yay!
Tonight, after the game.
Just us. 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir.
What a series, and it's all tied up. SportsCenter heads west for a pivotal Game 5. We'll break it down.
Back for the top of the 6th inning. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. No score between the Reds and the Cubs. Billy Hamilton in the 9 spot, then Brandon Phillips and Joey Votto coming up for Cincinnati against John Lester. They are in very tight on the corners again, as they were the first time up when Hamilton hit one hard through the left side for a base hit, then stole second and third. Stranded there.
Castro and Addison Russell both are pulled in also.
You know, I had a lot of chances to talk to really good hitters, and I tried to take advantage of that. Manny Ramirez being one of them. As a pitcher, the thing I would say to Billy Hamilton is, if you can start making contact, you change my... I'm not worried about starting out 1-0. I know you're going to swing. If walk isn't one of your weapons, then you're not using the weapon you have, which is speed. Still hasn't tried to bunt. That's just mind-boggling.
Two. And another hit for Hamilton. And he'll be thinking 2, and he will be in there standing up. A single and a double for Hamilton tonight. He's a guy, if he could just turn that 260 on base percentage into about 320 or 330, what a weapon he could be.
I mean, if his on base percentage is 335, he is a nightmare.
But look at the swing. I mean, he's staying right on this ball. It's a nice level swing. There's no uppercut to it. That's conducive to hitting the middle or top of the ball to get it to go on the ground.
On the ground,
but even with 2 strikes, Chris Bryant was playing up in the grass, and he hit it by him. If he's back like a normal third baseman would with 2 strikes with a normal runner, that's an out.
Now this is where, you know, we were talking about earlier when Billy was on base. You don't bunt. Absolutely do not bunt right here, because you can take third on your own.
He stole it last time, stole second and third. Time is called. And for those who weren't with us or again are familiar with the story, not to belabor the point, but Lester does not like throwing to bases at all, and opposing base runners, at first it's most noticeable, but everywhere they're taking giant leads against him.
Well, you remember opening day, they had the ball hitting the guy in second for the Cardinals. I forget who the runner was.
Jason Hayward.
Third, and he didn't even make an attempt to throw to third.
And look at the size of that lead considering where Russell is. That Russell's kind of holding him on out there at second base, and Hamilton's still about 20-25 feet off the bat.
One of the challenges, you put an enormous amount of pressure on your defense right here, because you don't have to give away an out if you're the Reds to get that runner to third base. It's not that he doesn't like to throw it. He hasn't proven he can. And that, to me, that's a game changer. This is where that can beat you.
Showing bunt is Phillips. And the pitch blocked by Ross. A ball and a strike.
Well, guys, Hamilton seems to be a particular problem for Lester. Lester has allowed 17 steals this year. That's the second most in the majors. And of those, Billy Hamilton has 5.
Well, that last pitch right there, it looked like Billy Hamilton wanted to go. He got a little bit bigger lead, bouncing on his feet, trying to time John Lester. And John Lester, which you rarely see, a guy in second, he went to the slide step with the runner on second, and that's why Billy Hamilton had to hold. I think this is one of these situations right here where
I'm saying he goes right here.
Yeah, I think he's going too. And that's great, but it does not.
Nope. But that's exactly what the base runner is trying to get you to do. Trying to get you to do something, focus on something other than the guy at the plate.
Huge lead. Ridiculously
huge
big.
lead.
he's not going to throw it. That's the other piece. From a leadoff perspective, he can get as big as you want. He's not going to throw.
I'm telling you, get that big a lead, you might want to throw it to third first. As big a lead as he's getting. I mean, that's unbelievable that no throw will be made here, and he's getting bigger lead now.
There he goes. Ross's throw, not in time. Third steal of the night for Hamilton, and that's going to force the infield in now for the Cubs.
And that's Billy Hamilton, what he can do. I mean, you know, he got a big lead, not a great jump, but you can see right there, easily safe at third base. Hand hits.
That's going to have to get fixed. That whole thing is going to have to get fixed, because in October that will not play.
It's not like it's a new issue.
Nope. But again, it goes. The power of the mind is an incredibly scary thing.
There's a foul ball hit by Phillips, forcing Hamilton to dive down to the dirt. Here are the only 2 pickoff throws John Lester has made in the last, since really April of 2014. There's the first one. This was against Cincinnati in April. There's the second one.
Well, and Dan, you play catch every single day of your career from 50 or 60 feet. So it's not like you can't make the throw. It's when you put that whole. We saw him in the bullpen working on that as well.
By the way, the Cubs leaving the middle infielders back here. They'll concede a run on a ground ball up the middle. And Phillips looks like Kruk. He's just in make contact mode, just to try to bring that run.
Yeah, and this is one of those, okay, don't hit it to the pitcher, to the third baseman or first baseman, and I'm going to drive in a run. And now it looks like Chris Bryant's looking in the dugout, and they're actually moving him back. I guess they don't feel like one run's going to be that big an issue for them to score.
Reds hitting a major league worst 207 as a team with runners in scoring position this year. Popped up. It's dropping and in there for a base hit. Hamilton had to wait, but will still slide in ahead of the throw on an RBI single by Phillips that gives the Reds a 1-0 lead.
Well, Dan, you said it. All he was trying to do was put the ball in play, make contact, and you know, you see the cutter by John Lester right here gets in on Brandon Phillips. He gets jammed, but you know, strong enough to get it to where he needs to hit the grass. And you know, Billy Hamilton was staying close, and he goes back to tag. And you know, most guys, that's probably a close play at home plate, but you know, with his speed, he can do things that others can't.
Well, that whole inning was set up. It's fundamentals. There's no rocket science. They made a good pitch. He jammed him, but the fact of the matter is you have to be able to hold base runners. You have to be able to help your defense as a pitcher, and you know, that's something. I think a lot of people are probably amazed at the fact that he went through Boston and nobody knew about that when he was in Boston, which is saying something considering the coverage.
Brandon Phillips can run, but he has the groin issue. You wonder if he is going to take off. He has an unbelievably large lead over there, but you wonder, with just coming off the injury, you wonder if he will attempt to steal. But
now, are you taking a large lead because you're taking a one-way lead?
Well, you're taking a large lead and hope he throws over. But I mean, he has no designs of stealing the base.
No.
You know, he's standing upright, but
that lead gives him a chance to do something with the ground ball double play.
Yeah, a ground ball in the hole. Starlin Castro has to go to his right. He could possibly beat it out to second, or vice versa if Addison Russell has to go to his left for a ball.
Rizzo's 4 or 5 feet off the bag.
Like a normal good lead would be your front foot
to the cut.
Where
that thing, yeah.
And the thing is, you watch Brandon Phillips, he's getting a walking lead.
This right here,
and he goes past the cut. Look at him, he's past the cut.
That's a great lead when your front foot's right here.
Yeah, yes.
Now this meeting right here is to get the game speeding up a little bit, right? It's 1-0. There's a base runner on. Everybody now is aware of what's going on. So just take a breath, execute your pitches. You know, he's a strikeout pitcher, so you get this runner to second base out, then you go for a punch out or do the things you got to do, but you got to get him to take a breath right here.
And Chris Bosio might be telling John Lester, look, yeah, he's just coming off a groin injury. he's not going to run. And I think even if he was going to run, you still have to tell John Lester he's not running. Don't worry about it.
But that's something John Lester should know before the game, right? I mean, that's one of those preparation things. If this guy's not going to run, his groin's just coming back, all those things. Those are the things you take to the mound with.
Well, you know they know it because Brandon Phillips first at bat, he hit a ball to deep shortstop, and you saw Starlin Castro make a play, take his time because he knew Phillips couldn't run good.
Votto drives the ball deep left center field, and it's going to be into the ivy on a bounce. Phillips is on his way to third. He is getting the wave. Here comes the throw to the plate. Not in time. He slides in safely on a double by Votto, and the Reds lead 2-0.
Joe Maddon's out to challenge this call. Ooh, that's close. That's really close. You don't know. Does he touch home right there? Or is his hand still off?
If his hand hit the plate as soon as it hit the ground, then he's safe. Yeah. And the way that Frazier and Phillips reacted made you think they both legitimately believed that he was safe.
Yeah, Jim Riggleman, the third base coach.
Is he on the plate there?
Yeah, I don't think he is right there. I don't think he might have him.
Yeah. But again, there's got to be clear and convincing evidence that he was out to overturn the call.
Oh, they got him.
I think they might have.
They got him. And that's the thing. Jim Riggleman was holding him, but he held him late. And I think Brandon Phillips, once he had the momentum going, he just thought, you know what, let's get it going. But I think they got him. I think he's tagged right there, and it looks like the index finger's not touching the base yet, or home plate.
Oh,
if the glove's on his arm there, he's out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When did he tag him? It's hard to tell right there.
Well, this could be a while. They had a 3-minute and 55-second review in the game last night.
Now the process has got to be tightened up, and I'm sure that there'll be things this year that will change going into next year.
But the thing is, you keep going back to this play, you know, with no outs, and you got Lester on the ropes, and you got Todd Frazier and Jay Bruce coming up with no outs.
And this is where Lester's inability to throw over probably
made it a play.
Yeah, and they're going to call him out. If Phillips has a normal lead, he probably never gets the wave, and it's second and third for the Reds. And they overturn it.
Well, take a look. We talked about the big lead he's got. He's got a big lead, not much of a secondary, though. But he did get a good read off the bat of Votto. He understood that Conklin wasn't going to catch it. Watch Jim Riggleman. He's waving. Now he got a little late stop on him, but Phillips couldn't see it because he was already close to being by him. And by that time, he was already committed to go home, and he went. But, you know, that's one of those plays there. You got to understand what's coming up behind you.
There's a great look right there.
Yeah, you got a great look right there. Yes, he's out. But you got Todd Frazier coming up. You got second and third. John Lester on the ropes.
So it remains 1-0. One out now. Votto's at second. And Frazier steps in 0 for 2.
He looks, even his bad foul balls, he looks so comfortable at the plate right now.
The defending champion of the home run derby. You got to believe he's going to be in it again because the All-Star game is in Cincinnati this year. Votto's going to tag, and he'll advance to third with 2 down.
Well, that's another run right there. If you keep Phillips at third base. But watch it cut off. Coughlin, that's when Jim Riggleman says, okay, got past him, I'm going to go. But Starlin Castro makes a great catch, a quick transfer, and a really strong throw to David Ross. And that was the only reason why they got Brandon Phillips right there. It was just, once Coughlin got the ball, he made a perfect relay to Castro. Castro with a perfect throw to Ross. Everything was set up perfectly by their defense on that play.
And it's funny, Joe Maddon was talking to us about the defense before the game today, and he said he loves the outfield defense. The cutoffs and relays have been great. What's hurt them has been the routine play on the infield, whether it's Russell, Castro, or Bryant. Fly ball right center. Baxter there, inning over. The Reds get one, but that's it. Lester steamed. Number 3 hitter Chris Bryant leading off the bottom of the 6th for the Cubs.
What do you think?
When I first sit in the seat, it makes me think of a BMW.
I feel like I'm in a Lexus.
You would think that this was a brand new Audi.
It's like a luxury car.
It feels kind of like an Infinity.
Very similar to Range Rover.
This is pretty high tech.
Yeah, it is. It reminds me of the Mercedes.
This is Chevy?
Wow. I have a new appreciation for Chevy. They thought about me.
I could totally rock this. This thing feels pretty boss.
It looks kind of dope.
That's pretty cool.
This is the jam.
Pretty bomb, dude.
Maybe I will go Chevy.
Definitely.
When you get up to 50% off thousands of hotels with Travelocity, it means you can also afford to get up to 50% romantic sunsets, making it the place to find a place for summer escapes.
Go and smell the roses.
Please rise for our national anthem.
This moment of independence brought to you by your U.S. Army.
Hey, what are you playing? Tyler's 3. Gotcha. Come on. Yeah, that'll work.
Golfsmith, anything for golf.
Time is the overseer of all things. It sees men plan their dreams, sees them build their kingdoms. It sees them become legendary. Will you build an empire that lasts forever? Game of War. Play for free now from the App Store.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented by Taco Bell, is brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads. To the bottom of the 6th at Wrigley, the Cubs trail 1-0. View from across the street, across Sheffield. Beyond the right field fence at Wrigley, all lit up here at night. As the Cubs try to make it 3 out of 4 over the Reds, down to 1-0 right now. Chris Bryant will lead it off. Doubled in the first to extend his hitting streak to 11. A grounded out in the 3rd. He'll be followed by Chris Coughlin and Starlin Castro. One of the top rookies in baseball. And his rookie card has just come out. Topps has released Chris Bryant's rookie card. Looks just like him.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Well, made us think as we go back in time.
Oh, come on.
Why do you guys always think it's about you? How do you know it couldn't be about somebody else?
I know you don't have one.
Yeah.
Who else is it going to be?
Hey, after what you guys did to me a few weeks ago.
What did we do?
I didn't do it. That would be someone else.
A swing and a miss. And Bryant is out. All right, let's see what we got.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. Schill, that's awesome.
Oh, that's just atrocious.
So what year is that, Schill?
1989.
And what year is that, Krucky?
86.
86.
You had some guns, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what you do when you press them up against your body.
Do you guys have any of those at home? Do you have old cards yourself?
No,
nothing.
Especially not that one.
Nothing.
No.
Wow.
I was so when I saw that first, I was like, oh my God, I have a baseball card, and oh my goodness, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Because I had a mustache, and you can't really see it.
Yeah.
And when I saw the
you had a mustache in that picture?
Yeah. No,
Arch, we need to see it
It's
again.
hard to find.
He had the whole thing working, though,
well,
this guy.
Come on.
The Bosworth hair.
Idiot.
Hey, man, the 80s.
I was an idiot.
But the 80s were a lot. We all need a bit of a mulligan through the 80s, right? Where's that mustache?
It's somewhere in this area right there. And it's red and blonde. It was multicolored.
But look at the look on your face. You've been in the big leagues an hour. Look at the look on your face right there.
And I had an earring, and I was. He was
Bosworth.
I was an idiot. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. When we made the trade for him, none of us remember facing him when he was with Houston.
Yeah.
And he walked in the clubhouse, and we're like, oh, who's this freak? What do we do with it?
Hey, and if somebody could walk into the Phillies clubhouse and stand out, we're saying something.
Well, I looked around and I was like, who are these freaks?
Yeah. You must have been scared.
I'm terrified. Terrified. Because they were veterans and they weren't real nice to young guys.
Did this guy welcome you?
No. Destroyed me. The whole group.
Not until after Johnny Padres told me we got a great starting pitcher.
Coughlin lines a ball. Foul. Just foul is the call, and Coughlin's already looking into the dugout saying, let's have a look at that one.
I mean, it has to hit the wall if it's foul. There's no room down there.
That looked fair from up here.
It looked like it hit the edge of the line and kicked dead right on him.
Oh, that's
got some chalk.
Yeah.
Now, the Cubs still have their challenge because the one they did went in their favor.
He's challenging.
Yep. And they're going to have a look. This is another one that's going to be awfully close. Did it kick up some chalk?
Well, I think it's. That looks like it's hitting some part of that white line.
It just needs to touch a rock. Gonna have to need it. Hopefully the center field camera, somebody got a little closer. And if I remember right, that's not chalk. It's paint, which will change kicking up.
I mean, you saw Jay Bruce, so he didn't hesitate.
Right. He was playing it like it was fair.
Yeah. Fair.
Again, going back to the definition, is there clear and convincing evidence to overturn the call?
I think there is.
I got to wonder how the umpires are feeling about this, in the sense that when you looked at the data early in the year, they were wrong, overturned almost 50% of the time last year. Oh, there you go. That's fair.
That's on some chalk.
Yep, that's fair.
You know, it's got to be disconcerting for the umpires. You watch them during the replay when they show a camera on, they're looking at the scoreboard.
Oh, yeah.
Well, fans are seeing it.
They used to not be able to do that.
Yeah, I know. Some of those guys used to get livid.
Because they were wrong all the time.
And the Cubs are 2 for 2. And I'm guessing that little conversation they had when they took the headsets off just was about placement of the runner. They just agreed, and it's the proper call just to put him at second base. But that's one of the gray areas if you overturn a play like that. I mean, if that ball had bounced crazily past Bruce, they could have said to Coughlin, you get third base.
Yeah.
So here's Castro. He's 2 for 2 tonight after driving in the game-winning run in the 9th inning last night. Foul ball. Fill out your 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot now at MLB.com/vote on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Vote up to 35 times at MLB.com/vote. Well, Rizzo should be there.
I don't know that you need a campaign for him to get votes. You better not.
Yeah.
I think you're talking, that kid's a legit MVP candidate right now.
He's in the top 5 of the National League and on base percentage, slugging. Big swing and a miss, 0-2.
Have to take a look. I wonder if anybody's ever had the MVP and the Rookie of the Year in 2 different players, position players. If you think,
because they got a shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Bryant certainly will be in the running for Rookie of the Year. In the air to left. 2 down.
Guys, I'm not going to argue with you about whether or not Rizzo should be there. He should be there. But I tell you what, you talk about a loaded position, National League first base, Paul Goldschmidt, MVP candidate for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Adrian Gonzalez of the Dodgers, Freddie Freeman, Joey Votto. That position is absolutely stacked.
Yep. It's amazing how cyclical that is, too. Think about Palmeiro and all those guys in the 80s and 90s, Grace and
McGuire.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to throw Adrian Gonzalez in the MVP race too, don't we?
Yep. There's Baxter.
All he does is get on base, hit 300, driving 100 runs.
He drove in. He had a 2-run single in the 12th inning, I believe it was today in San Diego. Dodgers beat the Padres 4-2.
So he's still leading the league in RBIs.
He can drive in some runs.
I love watching him hit too. Bet you.
That whole Boston thing was mystifying.
You know, it just.
Some guys can't play in that market.
I know. I thought he would hit 30 homers, 28 of them over the left field wall, but 150 doubles.
Well, given how low-key he was, I thought that would kind of be water off a duck's back. And it turned out to be the opposite. I mean, he got caught up in a lot of that stuff. And, you know, once they know they're getting at you and you're not performing, they're relentless.
Well, Giancarlo Stanton leads the league in home runs and RBIs, 23 and 59 entering play today. Gonzalez has some big numbers. You got to mention Bryce Harper as an MVP candidate. What kind of season he's having.
I just think that the word valuable changes that a word. I think in this sport, value is winning. You know, Andre Dawson won it when the Cubs finished in last, but I just think the value piece of that is
Rizzo has a much better case if the Cubs make the play.
Right,
yes.
right.
And Goldschmidt might lose.
He's having a great year
because of that. He's having an unbelievable year.
Yep, 355, 17 homers, 50 RBIs entering play today.
That's pretty good.
That's all right.
Guys, Goldschmidt is on a pace to get on base about 330 times this season.
Now he'll get tired before all that.
Yeah. Wasn't that how many times Bonds' intentional walk that one year?
Yeah.
Arizona won again today. They beat the Giants again today.
He's a special player, too, and he's one of those guys that I don't know universally is recognized for being as good as he is. That'll change at some point.
And DeSclafani with strikeout number 5, including Baxter for the 3rd time. He has thrown 6 shutout innings.
Experts choose Goodyear. And if they use our tires, what's stopping you? Goodyear, more driven. You've heard of a win-win, right? What about a win-win-win? Pick up the limited edition Metallic Droid Turbo by Motorola. Water repellent, up to 48-hour battery life, and ballistic nylon back. That's your first win. Plus, it's only on Verizon, the #1 network. There's your next win. Now for the final win. Get $250 when you trade in any smartphone. And get 10 gigs of data for $80 a month and $15 per line. The win-win-win. A new way to save without settling. Only on Verizon.
The new Nissan Maxima, the 4-door sports car that's raw, refined, and all you. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Robert from Bloomfield has been using Gillette for years, so he wasn't surprised that our best blades were smooth.
It's very smooth.
Or comfortable.
It's efficient. There's no pulling.
Hey!
But he was surprised.
Shaving with those blades can save you up to 50%.
Surprise. Compared to the other shave club, Gillette's best blades can save you up to 50%. Join the Gillette Shave Club today.
Very surprising.
What 5?
Well, tomorrow night, the Chicago Blackhawks have a chance to win the Stanley Cup on home ice. It'll be Game 6 at the United Center. A chance for the Blackhawks to win the Cup. I think it's for the 3rd time in 6 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. And in the house are some of the members of the Tampa Bay Lightning coaching staff. On the right, that's head coach John Cooper. On the left, maybe pulling in some old connections from his days as a player on the Blackhawks, is Steve Thomas. So they're here. They got some good seats there, right to the inside of the Cubs dugout, and they're hoping to extend the series to a 7th and deciding game.
I wonder if there's any Joe Maddon connection there with the Tampa.
Well, you think they'd be on the other side?
Dan's kind of
Aren't they
fired
over
up.
on
You're
the
kind of
Cubs
fired up
side?
for tonight.
They're on the Cubs side.
They're on the Cubs side. Joe Maddon.
Oh, Joe Maddon. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
Him?
Yes.
He manages, I think.
Yeah.
He was in Tampa for a little
You're
while.
right. You're right.
Well, Barry Melrose told me I'm all about the Blackhawks once the Bruins were out. But yeah, so you know what I found with coaches like this, Bill Belichick and Terry Francona had a really close relationship. Like, those guys tend to pick each other's brains about managing players.
And similar personalities.
Oh yeah. Terry was quiet, reserved, like Bill.
Well, the Fighting Franconas will be here tomorrow night.
Yeah, they will.
Indians are in town, right?
Pretty good chance you'll get a couple cell phone messages.
They are priceless.
Yes, they are. Unrepeatable and priceless.
There's Brian Pena leading off the 7th for the Reds, who are up 1-0. Live K-Zone brought to you all night long by AutoZone. I know, Krucky, that you're not really a hockey guy, but there was a stretch in the 2nd period of last night's game. They went better than 8 minutes without a whistle. That's something else. That's high-level hockey.
That's exciting.
Schill, you want to take sides in this one? You want to back me up?
What's that?
8 minutes without a whistle in the hockey game.
There's nothing like watching playoff hockey. Yeah. I grew up in Phoenix, so I didn't even know what a rink was. I became a fan in Philadelphia. There's nothing like playoff hockey. Mm-hmm. The intensity, you know, when I first started watching, I was like, wow, you know, why are they only skating for 45 seconds? They're a bunch of pansies. And then all of a sudden you realize that there's not just skating. They're beating the heck out of each other at 240.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like watching playoff hockey.
I couldn't find a rink in West Virginia, else I'd have played.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to an NHL game?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. I actually
Flyers?
I actually rode to Zamboni one day during a playoff game.
Of course you did.
Yes. Yeah. Totally see that.
But no, Jeremy Roenick was over at the house and he said, why don't you come to the game? So I went to the game, and then some guy comes and gets me between the 1st and 2nd period. I said, where are we going? He goes, come on, you got to go down here. And I went down, and next thing you know, I'm hoisted up on this Zamboni.
Awesome.
I fell in love with the game. Mark Recchi.
Ruts in the ice, but
right. So Lindros a Flyer when you guys are Phillies?
Yeah. Lindros, Recchi. He almost beat up our video guy.
Yeah.
In
Lindros?
Yeah. Because the video guy called him a Toronto fan, and he's like, it was almost a death.
But he came in there, and Lindros had he had a T-shirt with a tie on. and you know, our video guys videotaping everyone celebrating after we just got done beating the Braves, and you know, Lindros goes, yeah, go Phillies, and our video guy goes, oh, who you kidding? You're from Canada, you're a Toronto fan. And he snapped.
Yeah, he did. It was awesome.
Over the table after him. Yeah, it was great.
But you know, Recchi and Lindros and Brind'Amour, and then I go to Boston and the Bruins. My kids have no idea about the Boston history. They've seen a Celtics World Series championship, Red Sox, Patriots, Bruins.
Ryan Matthews up on the Reds pen. Even a Ducks fan. Is that a Ducks fan? Is that an actual Anaheim Ducks shirt? Could just be a generic Ducks shirt. Three and 2 the count on Eugenio Suarez, whose first major league hit was last year, and it was a home run, and it came off of John Lester. That was when Suarez was a member of the Tigers. Baxter there for the out, 2 down. Time now for our high strength performance, brought to you by Chevy Silverado. Let's look at the Cincinnati Reds right fielder Jay Bruce. This is Friday night. Racing into the alley in right center field. In the 9th inning, making a sprawling catch. And if that one was good, Kruky, this one might have been better.
This one's nicking away from him from the left-handed hitter, Rizzo. Yeah, that's a do or die. If you make the play, great. If you don't, you're losing 1-0.
Negron back to the mound. Underhanded by Lester to end the inning. 7th inning stretch coming at Wrigley. 1-0 Reds.
This is the feeling of turning a game you love into a lifetime of cash. DraftKings.com, the daily fantasy golf destination, is giving away $2.5 million in golf's next major, and winning's simple. Just pick your sport, pick your players, and pick up your cash. Play with promo code RANGE this week and get free entry in golf's next major June 18th. Winner gets $1 million. Get to DraftKings.com now.
The precision blades are the same, but shaving never will be. The Fusion Pro Glide, rebuilt with FlexBall technology, makes maximum contact and gets virtually every hair. And just one of the Fusion Pro Glide refills gives Dave here up to a month of comfortable shaves, which is about this many, which is a lot. One refill up to 1 month of comfortable shaves. Gillette.
He paid for you.
It's a German luxury sedan, but it's still an Audi. The Audi A4, performance with the right attitude. Experience the Audi A4 at your local dealer today.
Another sunny day, I met you up in the garden. I took a photograph of you and the herbage is golden.
Such a shame it's labeled a getaway. Life should always feel like this. Hampton, we go together. Always get the lowest price, only when you book direct at Hampton.com.
Welcome back to Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented by Taco Bell. Back in Chicago, Dan Shulman, John Kruk, Curt Schilling, Buster Olney. And boys, maybe some weather coming. We've dodged it so far, but it might be coming soon. John Lester pitching well, but on the wrong end of a 1-0 game right now, heading to the bottom of the 7th because of the work of Anthony DeSclafani, trying to win his 4th consecutive start. With Matt Latos traded in the offseason, Alfredo Simon traded, Homer Bailey on the DL, spots have opened up in the Reds rotation. And some young pitchers.
Miguel Montero in the on-deck circle. Could be into John Lester's night.
Hector Rondon up in the pen. The Cubs right now don't have just one closer. Rondon was the guy, but he's blown 3 saves this year. And Joe Maddon's playing matchups and hot hand and who's rested. 1-2. Ross has popped up and struck out. Montero in the on-deck circle for Lester, and then Russell. Lined foul down towards the Cubs pen. Nice stop.
That's how good they are. I mean, you got a guy down there supposed to be protecting the catcher. Right. He whiffs on it and he gets him right in the. That should be the Webb Gem of the year. He didn't even look. You got to wonder what's the guy doing standing on there. He's the one supposed to catch those. See, he's too close to him. First of all, he needs to be about 5 feet, 6 feet forward, and then of course he's probably afraid that if he moves any closer, he's going to get hit.
This one is fair. Past Frazier. And Ross is safe at second.
That's another bullet down the line. It just took that hop over Frazier's glove. No chance to get in front of it, but if that ball stays down, he makes a play. And then you see Negron right there trying to slide because how close that foul territory is to the fence, or fair territory to the wall down there, and he made a pretty good throw, but no chance of getting David Ross. And Brandon Phillips tried to get a little body momentum to knock Ross off the base. It didn't quite get it, but yeah, that's a ball that just bounced. Todd Frazier had no chance at that one.
And now Joe Maddon, instead of sending up Montero, Jonathan Herrera has been announced into the game at Lester spot, and this is obviously because they're looking for a bunt here.
Yeah, it's no question about it. You got a bunt. You wonder if Brian Price will go to his lefty in the bullpen.
Herrera, a switch hitter, hitting .228 on the season, does have one sacrifice this year. And he gets it down. Well done by Herrera. So now with a tying run at third and one out of the bottom of the seventh, it'll be Addison Russell 1 for 2 to face DeSclafani.
And this is an interesting decision for Joe Maddon. Is, you know, David Ross not the quickest of runners, and you see the infield, the middle infielder especially, are halfway. They had a hard hit ball. They still have a chance of getting David Ross out at third, or out at home.
And guys, we've seen more and more teams do this with a runner at third base, infield in situations. The Cardinals do with Matt Carpenter anchoring third base. By the way, David Ross doesn't look comfortable. He's been stretching out since he went into second base.
You wonder if this is a thing where Joe Maddon's going to keep David Ross in the game. Potentially, if they tie the game, Aroldis Chapman comes in. You don't want Montero to have to hit off him.
They've only got 2 other bench players right now. The Cubs made a move before the game today. They sent Junior Lake down to the minors and called up another reliever, Brian Schlitter. Their bullpen has thrown 15 innings over the last 3 days. So they've actually got a 9th reliever, only 3 bench players. Herrera was just used. That leaves Montero, the other catcher, and Chris Denorfia. That's it. Although if they wanted to, I mean, they could run Denorfia. They could run somebody like Travis Wood, who's a very good athlete, a pitcher, although he's a reliever now. He's not a starter anymore, so that changes that. But for the moment, thin bench, and Ross stays at third. 2-2 the count.
Last 2 pitches elevated to Addison Russell. He swung through them both. You have to stay up there. 2-2. Throw one more up there and see if he'll chase it.
Well, you need a punch out. Whenever your pitch, swing and miss pitch is, this is when you use it.
110 pitches and counting for DeSclafani. Still throwing hard. 96, but he misses inside.
I think right here, if You can use the aggressiveness of youth right here, and you throw a pitch up just above the strike zone, you might get a chase from Addison Russell. You have to get it up there and trust that he'll swing at it. Too far up.
Well, you're talking, you know, end of the night, you send him out there. I think he knew it was his last hitter, and what you end up having is as good a fastball as he's thrown all night, 94, 94. He gets to a situation where he gets away with one, tries to get a swing and miss, can't get it on that one. And he overthrows that last pitch. You saw the finish. He battled tonight, battled hard.
And DeSclafani out of the game. Brian Price wants the right-hander, Ryan Matthews, coming on for Cincinnati in a tough situation here in the 7th.
Everyone works hard for a reason. Working together, we can help you prepare financially for when 2 becomes 3. Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far.
You exercise. You choose the salad, occasionally. But staying well, physically, financially, emotionally, is hard on your own. So Cigna's got your back and your knees 24/7. Cigna's there to answer your questions. Or when you need some coaching. In sickness and in health, Cigna's there, helping you to get well and stay well. That's having a partner who's with you all the way. Cigna.
For Nick?
Yeah. You want to take a shortcut?
Sure. So how do you like driving the FRS?
I love it. Handles well. It's got plenty of power. This is it.
Nah. The Scion FRS. Lease one today at the Scion Zero Drive Off lease event.
It's time to vote for your All-Stars with the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot for the 2015 All-Star Game. Vote at MLB.com/vote. Catch all of the excitement of the 86th MLB All-Star Game on the 14th of July. So here's the situation. The Cubs are down 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th. They've got runners at first and third with 1 out on the top of the order coming up. Next to Fowler, the batter now, Anthony Rizzo on deck. And the new pitcher is Ryan Matthews, who began the year with the Angels, was designated for assignment in early May, claimed off waivers by the Cubs, by the Reds rather, and made his first couple of appearances with Cincinnati in mid-May. Comes on here in a difficult situation. Ross at third, Russell at first, just 1 out.
A double threat for Dexter Fowler. He's a guy who can run. It's going to be tough to double up. In his first 3 at-bats, he had fly ball to the outfield. So.
And he takes a strike. Fowler is a switch hitter. Much weaker numbers from this side of the plate, which is why Brian Price goes to the righty instead of the lefty.
Crucky, to your point, Fowler this season, 269 plate appearances, has hit into 1 double play.
And I would venture to guess that was from the right side.
Out of play, and it's 0-2.
I think as much as you'd like a double play, you're not expecting it. You're looking for a punch out. You need a pop up or a swing and a miss.
I watch Matthews warm up. He's just fastball split, and watched him bounce a couple of the splits during warm-up. So that could be a 0-2 if he wants to strike. That could be the pitch he goes to.
Fowler's just a 135 hitter, 5 for 37 this year with the runners in scoring position. stays alive. So John Lester out of the game. He goes 7 innings tonight. Gives up a run on 5 hits. He left for the pinch hitter Herrera, who got the bunt down. The set. And the 1-2. Inside, ball 2.
You can have that job.
Former pitching coach, now manager. You know, with the team having as many injuries as they've had too, I mean, they're just scratching and clawing for every win they could find. You can make a case that things could be a lot worse than 5 games under 500 given all the injuries they've had.
Yeah, you miss one of your top starting pitchers, your all-star catcher.
Right field, well struck. Caught deep in the corner by Bruce, but tagging and scoring to tie the game is David Ross.
Dexter Fowler had 3 fly balls to the outfield in his first 3 at bats. Brian
Price back to the mound. He wants the left-hander with Rizzo coming up. Manny Parra will be coming into the game. The Cubs have tied it. Dexter Fowler getting the ball in the air for a sacrifice fly. And as they bat at the bottom of the 7th, it is now 1-1. Lester smiles for the first time tonight. The Cubs have tied the game.
There are over 600 dogs in active military service. Max has been through a lot. What he needs is a home.
Okay, Sergeant. We'll be taking him home.
Max has been trained to protect and serve his unit no matter what.
We got the Air Jordan of dogs here.
Dogs are pretty good judges of character.
Max likes me pretty well.
Yeah, well, even dogs can make mistakes.
Max, rated PG.
Come on, Max!
In theaters June 26th.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the ILX.
Perfection is a paradox. Like surfing in the sand, or making new music from old records. Space Invaders can be art, chocolate can be printed, and a flaw can be flawless. Like a perfect tequila in an imperfect bottle. It doesn't have to make sense to be perfect.
A 1-1 tie here in the bottom of the 7th, and Anthony Rizzo will come up. He is 0 for 3 tonight, all 3 fly ball outs, and just 1 for 15 in the 4-game series. But I mean, he's hit the ball pretty hard.
He's hit the ball hard 3 times. That's a line drive. Negron makes a great play. Then another pitch down and away. His 2-strike approach, and he just missed it from going out. And then this one right here, we thought this was going to tie the game up. Or put the Cubs up 1-0, but Jay Bruce comes in and robs him with an unbelievable play. Very easily could be 2 for 3 in this game.
Brian Price goes to the lefty. Rizzo has done an incredible job against left-handed pitching this year. Manny Parra is into the game for Cincinnati. Check out the numbers for Rizzo batting against left-handers over the last 3 years. Under 200, then right at 300, and now over 400 so far this year. Jose Iglesias and Brandon Crawford, another left-handed batter, ahead of him batting against lefties.
Forgot about Brandon Crawford. He could be in the MVP talk if the Giants stay in this thing.
Good numbers for Manny Parra, who spent some time on the DL with a strained neck and has retired all 18 batters he has faced since coming off the DL.
That's the pitch right there.
There's that spot. Righty or lefty, I don't think it matters. That's the spot.
Yeah, I think lefty, though, it's a little different because you kind of wait a little bit longer. And not many lefties pitch inside the lefties. It doesn't seem like. Here's when he goes to his 2-strike approach. He chokes up. Short little stride. Try to put it in play.
Got a piece.
You know, it's amazing. We hear people say, oh, you know, 2-strike approach. Well, if I strike out, I strike out. But yeah, Anthony Rizzo's finally figured out when you watch his approach here with 2 strikes. See how much he's choking up. That the value of putting balls in play. And you watch his little stride he takes. See, he's up on the bat a couple inches. The open stance, but all he does is step before Parra starts to deliver and wait for it. I guarantee if he had the leg kick, he'd have swung and missed right there. Because that ball's a strike all the way.
It's amazing how many kids don't want to choke up on the bat, even though you see major leaguers doing it. Power hitters, good ones.
I always tell kids, you know, if you're going to choke up with 2 strikes, you got to practice it.
It's not, and it's not about the bat size, it's bat speed. Bat speed hits home runs.
Ooh, he might have been going. Russell has to dive back in.
You know, a hitter who's really passionate about that, about changing his swing with 2 strikes, is actually Joey Votto. Guys, he referred to it as pulling the parachutes. Once he gets to 2 strikes, you'll see him choke up and cut down on his stride, just trying to put the ball in play.
Rizzo calls it the B hack. Got the A hack and the B hack. Now they got him picked off, but he got back. Somehow Russell gets back.
Well, this is a situation. Joey Votto's looking in with the, you know, we'll see, but, you know, Brian Price is looking back to see if they're doing. But Addison Russell, here's the situation. The pitcher's leading off the next inning for the Reds, which will be Manny Parra. If Addison Russell steals or gets thrown out, they're going to pinch hit for Manny Parra, and Rizzo's probably going to hit off of either Aroldis Chapman or a righty.
Is he out if Votto stays at the bag right there? Because you saw Votto kind of back up. It looks like he almost got picked off. But if you watch, he feels like he has the ball long.
I think he thought Addison Russell was going. You see, watch Russell takes that step. You hear that as a first baseman, and you're geared to throw. But he does have to catch and come a long way back to make that tag.
Another throw. 4 in a row.
Fans love it. Huh?
2 outs, too.
Guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but all of a sudden in the last little bit, a whole bunch of bugs are suddenly flying around the infield. That's what Rizzo's reacting to.
The lead by Russell. A full count, and now Russell will get, or did it hit him?
Yeah.
It hit him. Rizzo is hit for the 15th time this season. He really crowds the plate. And now Brian Price may come out and say, where exactly did that get him?
If anything, it nicks his pants. Wow. Got that pinstripe, the thread hanging out.
This is reviewable.
I tell you, that's a tough one. I don't know how you're going to overturn that.
Price is looking into the dugout, waiting to hear if his video guy thinks they should review it. And they're going to let it. No, they're going to take a look at it. Our third review of the game. Let's take another look.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. And, you know, Rizzo wasn't really, you know, selling it like it hit him.
He kind of reluctantly.
But is this the kind of one, even though it just may have hit the uniform, may have hit the pant leg of Rizzo, is this where the umpire hears it rather than sees it?
I think everybody heard it. Sounded different, but usually you see part of the uniform pull away.
All right, let's give a listen now.
You got a double sound there.
Again, can you overturn it?
And guys, if you look at that replay from the third base side again, you can actually see a slight ripple in the uniform as the ball passes him.
Might have been centrifugal force.
Wow.
Nice.
We have a winner.
That was
for that one. Just happened to come in June.
Yeah. I don't know how you overturn it. The call on the field is hit by pitch.
Yeah.
Is there enough there to overturn it? I don't think so.
I hope they don't have to look at it as many times as we did to figure it out. We're going to be here a while.
You guys don't see the ripple right there on above the knee?
We must have a different angle, Buster.
How important is it in your guys' minds that they got to do this fast? Not this one.
Well, yeah, I mean,
the call, get the call.
They're going to give
looks like they're sending him back.
They are sending him back. Wow. Wow. So they overturn it. So the Reds retain their challenge. 3 challenges tonight. All 3 calls have been overturned. And so Rizzo back to the plate with a full count on him. And again, Russell will get a running start. Buster, no ripple.
I'm hearing a ton on Twitter. People are backing me up, guys.
What are they saying about Kruk's use of centrifugal force?
That's the only thing getting more comments.
So Rizzo gets an opportunity here and strikes out. He didn't like it. 1-1 end of 7.
Brighten up the afternoon with Happier Hour at Taco Bell. Dollar drinks and freezes every day from 2 to 5 p.m. Only at Taco Bell.
Put your hand over your heart. Is it beating? Good. Then my Nutrition Heart Health Mix is for you. It's a wholesome blend of peanuts, pecans, and other delicious nuts, specially mixed for people with hearts. Planters. Nutrition starts with nut.
Our new app will revolutionize car service and repair.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Is that anything like Cars.com's new feature called Service and Repair?
No, because with ours, you'll know the cost of labor and parts in your area. Anyone else?
Like Cars.com?
So you'll never pay more than you should.
Like Cars.com.
Excuse me 1 second.
She's totally right. I messed up. I'm sorry.
Cancel the IPO?
Research, price, find. Now get the right service without all the drama. Cars.com. All drive, no drama.
Gonna build a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build me a mountain. At least I hope I will. Gonna build.
We took some of our best thinking and put it into this. Introducing the all-new Honda HR-V crossover.
I only know I'm gonna try. Gonna build me a daydream from a little.
This is Adam Jones, center fielder for the Baltimore Orioles. When he's not playing baseball, he's watching baseball.
Starting right. Starting right.
When he's not watching baseball,
watch him run.
He's reading about baseball.
I'm going to nasty.
When he's not reading about baseball, he's listening to baseball.
I don't know how the hell I would pitch that.
And when he's not listening to baseball, he's playing baseball. MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
Hey, thanks to everybody who sent in their tweets by using hashtag #RepMyTeam. Every Sunday, be sure to send in a picture on how you support your team, and your tweet could wind up on TV. Crowd of over 33,000 here at Wrigley Field tonight. We go to the 8th inning here on Sunday Night Baseball. The Reds and the Cubs are tied at 1. And the new pitcher for Chicago, right-hander Hector Rondon. Picked up a save on Thursday, saddled with a loss on Friday. As we mentioned, no longer really the closer. They don't really have a true closer right now. Jason Mott has picked up a save. Justin Grimm has pitched very well. And the Cubs have signed Rafael Soriano, ex of the Nationals, and you go back a few years, ex of the Rays, where he had a great year, 45 saves when his manager was Joe Maddon. To right center field, Baxter back, tracks it down. And when Soriano gets to the Cubs remains unknown. Some speculation it might not be until after the All-Star break, and whether or not he becomes their closer still up in the air. But the guy on the right there, Jason Mott. Well, is that Mott there? Is that?
Yeah.
No, that's Schlitter on the right. There's Mott on the left.
That's right. Wait, twins.
Beards everywhere. Mott is throwing the ball well right now, like 96.
Well, he's healthy. Yeah. He's healthy, and yeah. I think.
What's the deal with the hood? It's 90 degrees out here. Go ahead. Let's talk about Mott. He's great. We like him. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Really good guy.
Their bullpen's been really good lately.
And that was what everyone thought could be their weak point. A lot of question marks, but.
Billy Hamilton at the plate, batting left-handed for the first time tonight. As a righty, he went 2 for 2, a single, a double, and he has stolen 3 bases tonight. He's got 29 now on the season.
Golly, man, that's what's frustrating. You work a count to 2-0. You got speed to burn. You know you're going to steal a base, and you get a 2-0 pitch off the plate, and they give it a strike.
Well, that's what they ask you to do, right? I mean,
well, yeah, but then that one's a ball, and it's basically the same spot.
You can't let that force you out of the game. Your job is to get on, especially when you run like that. It's got to be tough.
Full count.
Full count, and that's the first strike he's actually seen to the K.
Take a look where Chris Bryant still is. He's still 6-7 feet up in the grass with 2 strikes.
Well, they had him positioned well, didn't they? Fowler barely had to move.
Well, Billy Hamilton, you got to give him credit. He was guys that got the run on the board for the Cincinnati Reds, stealing second base on John Lester, then stealing third without a throw. Then the 6th inning, Brandon Phillips up, he takes a pitch, gives Hamilton a chance to steal third, then he scores on the bloop single to center field by Brandon Phillips on a play that he might have been the only guy that made that play not close, but so far a really good night for Billy Hamilton.
Back to the top of the order now for Brandon Phillips. We just saw the RBI single he picked up in the 6th inning, the only Cincinnati run of the night. 2 for 7 with a home run in his career against Rondon.
Think he was fooled?
That was
what was that?
That wasn't even an emergency. He knows too.
That's not even a 2-strike emergency swing.
That's
it's 0-1.
Oh, I guess wrong.
Maybe he's working on going the other way.
0-2.
Tell you what, for a 1-1 game in the top of the 8th, there's a lot of fun going on out there, isn't there?
That's one word for it.
Upstairs 2-2 live K-Zone all game brought to you tonight by AutoZone. 1-1 tie. The Reds getting a run on the top of the 6th. The Cubs answering in the bottom of the 7th. To right field. And the inning is over. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning in a 1-1 tie. Kris Bryant will lead it off for the Cubs.
Out of 42 vehicles, based on 6 different criteria, why did a panel of 11 automotive experts name the Volkswagen Golf Motor Trend's 2015 Car of the Year? We'll give you 4 good reasons. The Volkswagen Golf, starting at $19,295. There's an award-winning Golf for everyone.
I like my seafood like I like my vacations, tropical. And during Red Lobster's Island Escape, 3 new tropical dishes take me straight to the islands. So I'm diving fork first into the lobster and shrimp in paradise with panko-crusted lobster tail and jumbo shrimp in Captain Morgan barbecue glaze. Or the ultimate island seafood feast with tender crab, wood-grilled lobster, and 2 island-inspired flavors of jumbo shrimp. Because a summer without tropical flavors might as well be winter. This escape is too good to miss, so don't.
Do Sports Authority's biggest Father's Day sale ever. Save up to 60% on thousands of great gifts, including a basketball system for only $199 and 25% off select Nike apparel and footwear. Going on now at Sports Authority.
Hey, America, still not sure whether to stay or go to your people?
Should I stay or should I go?
Well, this summer, stay with Choice Hotels twice and get a $50 gift card you can use for just about anything.
Go.
You always have a choice. Book now at choicehotels.com.
Our warranty program lasts longer than any other car company's, making it the best warranty in America. What's it like to drive a Hyundai? You have no idea.
The College World Series continues tomorrow at 3 on ESPN2.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Back here at Wrigley Field, Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. For those of you who watched the Golden State Warriors defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers over on ABC and take a 3-2 lead in the NBA Finals, we've got a 1-1 tie here at Wrigley between the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs. That sac fly by Dexter Fowler scoring the tying run. John Lester pitched well. Anthony DeSclafani pitched well. Neither will be involved in the decision. The Cubs come up now in the bottom of the 8th with their 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up looking to break the tie. New pitcher for the Reds, right-hander J.J. Hoover. Unscored upon in his last 9 appearances as he starts Kris Bryant with a curveball for a strike. It was a hanger, but it was a strike.
Well, first pitch, you're not looking for that when you're looking for the old number 1. And once that starts at you and breaks over the inside corner, you kind of give up on it.
0-2. 29th appearance of the season for Hoover. Of course, the closer for the Reds is Aroldis Chapman. Should they take a lead to the bottom of the 9th? Bryant tonight is 1 for 3, doubled in the first to extend his hitting streak to 11. Good pitch by Hoover, 1 down. So curveball, fastball, slider.
You rarely see relievers come out of the pen with 3 pitches. Kind of a hanging curveball, and then he gets filthy. This is a great pitch. Starts in a great spot, finishes in a perfect spot.
That's a guy that, you know, you got a guy coming out of the bullpen to a young player, and he shows you all 3 pitches in the arsenal with the first 3 pitches. It's a tough at bat for Kris Bryant.
Here's Chris Coghlan. 1 for 2. He doubled his last time up. He's also walked. Pulled foul. Cubs right now 33 and 27. They sit in third place in the National League Central. The Reds are fourth, 28 and 33. Cubs are 7 out. Reds are 12 and a half out. St. Louis leading. Good breaking ball, 1-2. Backhanded by Votto. Feeds Hoover, covering, 2 down. Extraordinary moments happen every night in baseball, but on one night they all happen in one place. Don't miss the 86th All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July the 14th on Fox. 2 down now for the guy who drove in the winning run last night for the Cubs, Starlin Castro. That was with an RBI single in the bottom of the ninth after a lengthy rain delay. Castro 3 for 10 in his career against Hoover. Two for 3 tonight. Ground ball to third. Good job by Hoover. Cubs go 1-2-3. We will go to the ninth. It's going to be Jason Mott, and it's going to be Joey Votto, Todd Frazier, Jay Bruce coming up for the Reds in a 1-1 tie.
The most legendary name in paint is now at Lowe's.
What is his name?
Oh, it's HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams.
Is he more famous than me?
It's the name everyone wants on their wall.
Well, now there's room for all of us.
Sure.
Back to the happy tree?
But nothing looks better on ceilings either.
Come again?
So if you're looking for the most legendary name in paint... What? I said if you're...
I can't hear you.
Never mind. HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams is now at Lowe's.
Just one question. Am I supposed to solve this or not? I need a direction to turn, or I may just start pulling down walls. I am no good on the sidelines.
Tell me, how compromised are you?
I welcome judgment.
Load up. My whole life I prepared my son to lead in the fight against the machines. The last thing I could imagine is that he'd become one of them.
Hi, Mom.
Sierra, go.
Where is he?
Whatever they did to him, we need to reverse it.
What if that's what happens to all of us?
Terminator Genesis, July 1st.
Leave early. Go roam. Sleep in. Sleep out. Stargaze. Dream big. Wander more. Care less. Beat sunrise. Chase sunset. Do it all on us. Get your first month's payment plus 5 years wear and tear coverage. Make the most of summer with Volvo.
Mott.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN is presented by Taco Bell's Grilled Stuffed Nacho, the first nachos designed not to be shared. Live Mas. And in part by Cars.com. All drive, no drama. Well, maybe some drama here in the ninth inning in a 1-1 tie in the great city of Chicago. We're at Wrigley Field with the Reds and Cubs tied at 1. Jason Mott into the game for the Cubs, facing the 2-3-4 hitters for the Reds. Mott has been terrific for the Cubs this year. Tommy John a couple of years ago, the former Cardinal. As he faces Joey Votto, Mott has recorded 11 straight scoreless appearances covering 8 2/3 innings. The opponent's hitting just 103, 3 for 29 against him in his last 11 appearances, but this won't be easy with Votto, Frazier, and Bruce up for Cincinnati.
And this is not a real good matchup for him, given he's not a guy that commands the fastball very well, to a guy with a lot of patience. I don't think he takes it, but this is a green light situation for a guy like this.
high strike, 3-1.
Wow. Knee high.
To a grasshopper.
Pitch was down.
Lower end of the knee.
Yeah. The hollow. The hollow of the knee.
Yes.
Shin.
Yeah, it's called a ball.
3-2. Votto, a ground out, a fly ball, and a double tonight. One of the key plays of the game. Brandon Phillips, after a review, the call overturned and he was ruled out. And that foul ball, I believe, hit first base umpire Ron Culpa.
I saw two words there. Smoked me.
That was a pitch from Aroldis Chapman in the bullpen that caught him.
Yeah, that gives a new definition to smoke.
You watch where this ball's coming from.
Oh, yeah, it is Chapman.
Oh,
wow.
Wow.
Never saw it coming.
Yeah. Pretty good chance that was 90-ish plus.
And he just threw another one down the line.
Well, you got to feel real good about jumping in the box against him tonight.
Well, the good thing is the fans and the bullpen aren't really letting him have it.
This is, of course, one of the few parks where the bullpens are still down the line. It's kind of in play.
Literally on the field.
Yeah.
Hey, you can draw dirt on the pitcher's mound with a foul or with a ball. And they can still might call it fair. It's right there. I used to hate left field. Every time you hit a fly ball, you had to contend with the wind, the sun, and the pitcher's mound. You going to throw Chapman out? Is that what he's going down there for?
For those of you looking for SportsCenter, it's currently airing over on ESPN2 with John Anderson and John Abuchagras. Of course, a look back at Game 5 of the NBA Finals. The Warriors defeating the Cavaliers. Max Scherzer threw a one-hit, 16-strikeout shutout today. And the Blue Jays remain baseball's hottest team as they win their 11th in a row.
That Scherzer game had a little carry.